for Fantasy Life. And if you like this video, make sure you subscribe, like, all that good stuff. All right, video. Now, when I turned on the PlayStation today, there was an update, 1.06 update, which added a few quality of life changes to Mortal Kombat 11. And one of the things that I found weird is that when you go into the notifications, it's nothing there this time, whereas the last time it was like this huge list of stuff. Well, for me, it was like a bug that kept giving me the same crap over and over. But it gave you the update in the notification, and this particular time, it's nothing there, which it's kind of disappointing. Why would you have a notification in your game if you're not gonna tell nobody? Like, not use it to inform your customers, your consumers, your players. So that's kind of disappointing that they didn't utilize it. I hope going forward they're better at utilizing it. But I've played games where some companies have a notification within their game, and whenever they do an update, there's nothing that pops up in the notification telling people what that update was about. I mean, people want to know, especially in a fighting game where certain updates can affect the game, because for example, this particular update did have some balancing changes to pretty much all of the characters. Not only that, it added a bunch of stuff, a lot of stuff which is pretty noticeable. Like, for example, with this 1.06 update, if you notice right above the option button, it says PS4 tournaments. If you press the touchpad, it takes you to like this blue screen. Right now there's no online tournaments going on, but it allows you to see what kind of online tournaments that's going on, that you can then join and, you know, partake in some online tournaments, which is really cool in terms of the competitive. A lot of the things they did was more for the competitive scene, more for the tournament play in this particular game, and that goes to show that NetherRealm is really serious about the longevity of this particular game. They want this game to be in the tournament scene for longer than the typical 2 years. Usually NetherRealm games are in a tournament scene for about 2 years before the new NetherRealm game comes out and everybody moves on to the new NetherRealm game. They want this one to be in the tournament scene a lot longer, you can tell, because they're making a lot of changes and updates and a lot of push towards the whole tournament scene. That's pretty evident in the fact that if you go into fight, I said if you go into fight. Oh, fight. They actually have a tournament setting right here where it enables tournament standards, basically, when you're fighting couch co-op, basically. And when you do play online, if you go to ranked, it has the tournament kind of settings as well. And even if you go to casuals, you can enable competitive mode, which is more similar to the tournament thing. The other thing you would notice is now the rank set is first to two, which it's okay. I kind of like it, only because it expedites the matches. Some of these matches with the first to three, some of those sets can be pretty long, especially if it goes to five games, meaning you win two or you lose two, and it goes to the fifth game. And sometimes those sets can be pretty long. The first to two kind of expedited, because the most games you're going to play is going to be 3 before the set is over. So every game wins. Every match is vital. In terms of the season play, as you can, in terms of the Combat League, you can see it says season begins in 6 days now. So, yesterday we discovered that they kind of postponed it again. But now it looks like it's going to be launching. In fact, in the patch notes, if you go Google like MK11 1.06 update, you can find the patch notes online. And they say that they're going to be launching it on the 16th. Yeah, so they're going to be going ahead with the Combat League in 6 days when Shang Tsung comes out. So that's one thing that they're going to be doing. Where we're going to be getting the Combat League in 6 days when Shang Tsung comes out. Now, some of the things that this update includes is move list corrections. Not really sure what that is, but if you go down the patch notes a little bit more, you notice that every character got some sort of tweak. They got some sort of tweak, and I'll touch on a few of them a little bit later. They made improvements to AI logic. They fixed several rare online desyncing causes, fixed minor visual issues related to some brutalities, removed a rare crash that could occur after a quidality, fixed an issue that causes users to lose control functionality when trying to record an AI command after pausing the game with very specific timing. So as you're hearing right now, it's more of a lot of quality of life changes they made. I mean, same thing with this whole being able to just press this to see what tournaments is going on, and putting it to the first of 2 sets. Basically, it's just better quality of life to kind of expedite the whole tournament feel or whatnot, and just put more focus on the tournament and try to extend the longevity of this particular game. So they also have trying to practice reset while waiting in Koth. That's King of the Hill. Lobby will no longer sometimes reset twice in a row. Next is adding an easy crush and blow option to practice mode, practice options, which will bypass most crush and blows conditional requirements. Now that's an interesting one, because if you go into, I'm not gonna do all of that, but well, yeah, I can do it. If you go into the practice mode,
Frost, Sub-Zero,
you can now, instead of having to do the specific requirements in order to do the crushing blow in practice mode, now you can set it to where you just do the crushing blow. You don't need to adhere to the requirements in order to perform that crushing blow. If you do the move, the crushing blow will come out. So you go to AI. Probably should have remembered how to do this. Oh, here we go. Crush and blow for player 1. Now you can set it for player 1 or player 2. Right now we'll do player 1. And in order to do the uppercut crushing blow, they actually have to be doing some sort of high attack, and then you punish them with the uppercut crushing blow. But now you can just do it. Reset. Now you can just do it, and you can practice, you know, punishing somebody after you perform your particular crushing blow. So with Frost, this right here, when I do that, the crushing blow only occurs if it's done after a punish, as a punish. So in order for me to do that particular crushing blow, which is the back 2-2-2, triggers if this combo attack is a counter or a punish. But in this particular case, I haven't set Sub-Zero to do anything, so obviously it won't be any punish or anything like that. But yet, if I do it, crushing blow still comes out. And then I can figure out different ways to kind of extend the damage of my crushing blow. And this is pretty vital, because when you're in the middle of a match and you do a crushing blow, you can't drop that. You gotta take advantage of that. And this is gonna teach you. You can just reset it and do it every time. Now I usually punish this crushing. Oh, I don't have that variation. I usually punish that crushing blow with the drills in terms of rank set, but in this particular variation, I can just do it with the head to extend more damage. But in the corner, you can also practice it in the corner, obviously. So that's really good. That's really good. And as you can see, you can practice, you know, maximizing damage with various crushing blows. I actually tried to. It won't come out. Nope, it doesn't come out, so I can't even do it with that. But that's actually pretty good in terms of practice mode. So let's see what else they got for us. Added random hitting option to practice mode, AI, yada yada yada. There's nothing. Added several new brutalities for players to discover. So they added brutalities to the game. They don't tell you what it is, so you kind of got to figure it out on your own. Don't worry, just look online. I'm sure somebody will eventually figure it out. Added variation info to the pause menu and some multiplayer online loading screens. So that's another thing too. Like when I played rank earlier, when you pick your particular, when you do the rank and they match you up with a particular character, first of all, they have this cool animation where like your icons kind of match each other, like some sort of combatant thing. But when it's about to go into the game after you guys picked your particular characters, it has the loading screen, and in the loading screen it shows the abilities that you have for that particular variation character you have. So when I'm using my Frost, it'll show that I have like the glaive and the drill and the microburst and so on the actual screen. So I'm not sure why they do that. It's not like I don't know what variation I picked. I guess it's just showing you the buttons because it shows you how to what move you have, but it also shows you how to do it. Not sure why it does it. Doesn't seem necessary, but it's nice to have. I mean, it's again quality of life fix. Added variation info in the pause menu. I read that already. Added Combat League Online Game Season 1. Alright, so Season 1 for the Combat League is actually called the Season of Blood. It starts June 18th. So June 18th is when it actually starts. I'm surprised it doesn't say like Season of Blood here. Like it'd be cool if it said it. It comes out in 6 freaking days. Just put Season of Blood there. You just put the update. But no, they call it Season of Blood, but nowhere in the game. Nor see, it would be also nice if they had it like in the notifications, but nothing. It doesn't tell you anything about it being the Season of Blood. And then you also have rank sets. Oh, it talks about how they reduced the rank sets is now first to 2 as opposed to first to 3 matches. And now they talk about the crypt. I'm gonna skip the crypt. The crypt is fun, but they made a few bug fixes to the crypt. For example, fix a rare bug that could cause players to be locked out of the armory after getting the spear. So I already got the spear. I'm not worried about that. So yeah, just little things like that to the crypt. They also adjusted difficulties on some starting towers on some tower platforms. Added new boss fights and rewards. Added new tower platform rewards. Character specific adjustments. So just again, little quality of life changes that they've made to balance the game out even more. This was already a pretty well balanced game, and they're just constantly making updates to balance it and keep it nice and fun and interesting for particular characters. Oh, that was another thing too I wanted to show. They made a slight, again, quality of life adjustment to Aaron Black. And again, they made it for every character. What the hell is Aaron Black at? Oh, there he goes. Did I pick the right one? Yes, I did.
Special Forces
so
Desert Command.
Now when Aaron Black, yes, usually they have the loading screen here when you're playing the online mode, and it tells you the abilities as well as how to do it. But with Aaron Black, if you now look on the bottom by his meter, you can see like a bullet, and it says ×8. So that just lets you know. I don't know how to do his moves. I don't play Aaron Black, but that lets you know how many bullets you have left on the chamber. Now, granted, it also lets your opponent know how much you have as well, but it is what it is. It's a better quality of life changes. Like most people who play Aaron Black religiously is probably gonna, remember how much they have in the chamber. But for somebody like myself who don't play Aaron Black, I'm not gonna remember. Nor is the opponent, me as an opponent fighting Aaron Black, is not gonna probably remember how many shots he has. So I mean, it's a good thing and a bad thing because your opponent now knows how many shots you have left too. So that's all I got to say about that. But that's just one of the adjustments they made to Aaron Black specifically. But they made several adjustments to just different players. For example, I'm gonna touch on Baraka, and again, you can Google MK11 1.06 update to see what kind of adjustments they've made to your favorite character. Not all of them has a lot. Like for example, Baraka only has 2. His high and mid parries now work correctly against War Banner Charge. So I guess there was some sort of inconsistency with that. So now it works more correctly with the War Banner Charge. And then it has the Sinister Slice. Jump Back Punch no longer has an inconsistent hit region when auto facing the opponent. So they just made again, quality of life improvements. That's basically what this patch update was, all while making it to where the game is going to last even longer too, in terms and be more valuable in the competitive sense. So again, if you want to check out what kind of updates and tweaks they made to your specific character, I highly implore you to just Google MK11 1.06 patch notes. I am on a website called guides.com. That's the one of the links it took me to, and I was able to kind of like scroll down to see what the update actually consisted of. Because outside of the obvious, which was having the PS4 tournament menu right there using the touchpad, and the first two wins on the rank mode, like other than those which are very obvious, I wasn't aware of any of the other changes that made, like the little balance changes they made to the characters, the little tweaks they made to the challengers, the tweaks they've made to the towers as well as the crypts. And I didn't even know about the adjustments and improvements they've made to both the AI battles and the practice mode. So highly recommend you check that out. The whole crushing blows, making it easier in practice mode is big. It is so big because this is gonna have a lot of people practicing those crushing blows consistently to maximize damage. Oh my god, like there's some people who can do a ridiculous amount of damage off crushing blows, but now that they can easily implement those crushing blows just from an uppercut, you're gonna see people do some damaging combos off of just a crushing blow uppercut, because that's a really common crushing blow in this game. It's kind of sort of common to catch people with a crushing blow uppercut in this particular game. So oh yeah, it's gonna go down. So with that being said, if you like this video, smack that like button, share, like, favorite, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff, and remember, your life is a fantasy.